Retirees should be concerned about this. I got water in my ear. You ever take a shower and you get water in your ear and it like sits there? Ugh, man, I can't hardly use it. It drives me up the walls. Like, just pop already. How do you get it to pop? Like, it's not coming out. It drives me up the wall. All right, so I'm in a weird mood today. I was listening to some Tool while I was messing around here. So I'm looking at the survey of consumer finances from the Federal Reserve Board, and you can download it into your spreadsheets, which I've done here. And look, I'm not a spreadsheet guru like my man Daniel Coolerbird or Craig Israelson or Ben Collins, who I follow. I'm not like those guys. Those guys are friggin' nuts at this. Me, I'm just a caveman, but I know enough to do damage, and we're gonna do damage here to Google Sheets. So what I did is I downloaded all the data from this website right here, which is just freaking so fun, dude. So fun. I'm just a weird guy in a weird mood. Listening to Tool. I haven't listened to Tool in so long. And then to listen to Rick Beato. Top of the morning to you, First Sergeant. Interview with Danny Carey, I think his name, the drummer from Tool. And now listen to some old Tool Undertow. I haven't listened to any albums since then. The Undertow, and just listen to Maynard's lyrics. Just a nutty guy, and it put me in a nutty mood. So you just got to bear with me, baby. And if I get this out, I'll be even nuttier. All right. So what we're doing, we're taking the survey of consumer finances going back to 1989 to 2022, 75-year-old categories, 75 and older categories, just to show you that this something does concern me a little bit. So we're going to start with, and I just did all this and created this little chart and all that. Nothing fancy, just caveman Excel spreadsheet stuff. So this is Google Sheets. So you can see this is our debt in red. Hold on a second. Baby wants to go outside. And baby wants to go outside. We all capitulate. Isn't that right, baby? Yes, sir. All right, so here's debt in the red. And here's, hey, Ukraine colors. Ukraine color for the good things. Net worth. So this is Russia. Get it? Russia red. Ukraine. I didn't do that. That's funny, man. So the good side is the Ukrainians and the bad side is the Russians. Kind of funny. I literally did not do that. But anyway, so net worth is good. Assets are good. Debt is bad, obviously. So you can see it looks like the net worth and assets are growing remarkably well relative to debt. And that's where you can be fooled by how people show charts. That's not logged. And a log chart is what determines the percentages increase. And I'll show you just a second what that difference is. So you can see a lot of snake oil salesmen. They'll say, oh, my goodness, Josh. If you missed a stock market, you missed this huge, like nothing happened until like 1982. There's one true. You're like, oh my goodness. Like there's no growth in it. It's just, it drives up the wall. They'll do the same thing with government debt. There's no government debt until shoops. And like, that's just the whole thing's so stupid because log is a percentage increase. Percentage. This is just pure dollar increases. That's what matters is the percentage. Anyway, so you can see the net worth for 75 plus old people, which is in blue. And you can see assets always above net worth unless net worth is equal to assets because there's no debt. So if there's debt, your assets will always be above net worth. So net worth is here. Net worth is what we care about. Assets are there. And the reason assets are above is because we have that much debt. So it looks like the net worth and assets have grown remarkably relative to debt. But see the difference. This is 2 to 400. This is 0 to 100. You see the difference there? This is an increase of 100%. This is an increase of, 1,000%? I don't even know what it'd be. You see? So while this doesn't look to be as extreme, it's actually more extreme than this right here because the percentages. So if we go down here, and you can see, I showed you over this chart right here, our net worth increased by double from 1989 to 2022. Our assets increased by 101%, just a little bit more than double. But our debt increased quadruple for this age group, 75 and older. Our 75 and older age group quadrupled their debt, while their net worth and assets only increased by 100%. With double, I should say. So they quadrupled their debt, and the assets and net worth increased by a double. But it doesn't look that as extreme, does it? Nope. But when you actually look at percentages, you can see right there, blink. Now I threw income before tax. I threw that in there too. And our income before tax only increased by 57%. Now, the interesting thing, so it's almost like this is the debt right here in yellow. Here's the net worth. Here's the assets. Here's an increase in income. It's almost like they're giving you the middle finger, aren't they? It's like, there's 4 fingers. Isn't that kind of funny? The middle finger's like, screw you, retiree. So that's a different perspective of looking at this. The debt has increased significantly more than income and net worth and assets. Again, net worth is it considers it considers debt and assets, by the way. So I mean, either way though. So is that something to be concerned with? Now the other thing that was interesting. I said, well, what is the debt? What is the debt? And this is what was interesting to me. So we're gonna go down here. We're gonna look at debts. Again, this is people 75 and older, by the way. And so we're gonna see debt right here. And you can see 33,000 is the median debt amount. 33,000. So we're going to come over here and we're going to see survey consumer finances. We're going to see debt right there. And we can see that 53% of the people have debt. 53% of the retirees have debt, which is significantly more than it was in 1989. So 53% of the people have debt. It means 47% of the people don't. The median debt level of those people, and it says it right here. For each variable and classification, the chart shows the percentage of families in the group who have the item and the median and mean amounts of holdings for those who have any. All right, so this is the median. So only 53% of the people have any debt at all. And of those 53%, the median debt is $36,000. The median debt is $36,000. I hope that makes sense. So if you take, I don't have my, I want to do my calculator. So basically what we're going to do here, I'm just going to get my calculator up. 1 second. Yeah. You should know what I'm talking about. There it is. All right, sweet. So what we're going to do is we're going to say, how much was it? Percent holding. So 53% had debt, which means 47% people did not. So what we're going to do here, we factor in everybody in the equation. We take I think it's 0.53%. Is that what it was? Yeah, 53%. So what we'll do is we factored everybody in this equation. We take 0.53 times that by the median debt for the people who had a debt, and then we'll equal that. That means the median debt amount for all people the age of 75 and older is $17,500. I hope that makes sense, because the 33,000 median debt only is the people who have any debt. All right. If you take the entire group as a population, you say, well, the median debt for everybody is $17,500 because we're leaving out 47% of the people who don't have any debt. Now, what was interesting here, though, and again, that still concerns me. I'm like, I don't like this number right here, the middle finger there. They're growing by 400%, where assets only grew by 100%. I don't like that. And then income only grew by 50%. And this is in real dollars, by the way. This has already been inflated. So income did grow by 53%. That's just a fact. I mean, net of inflation, that's a fact. So, and that just proves again that Social Security does a great job of keeping up with cost of living. It's just so stupidly. Social Security doesn't keep up with cost of living. It literally does. All right, so now we're going to go to debt here. And what was interesting is you see 33,000 is the median debt for people who have any debt, which is only 53% of the population. I hope you're following me here. I just got to get this off my chest. But then you look at home secured debt. It's $95,000. And you're sitting there thinking, if the median debt level is only $33,000, how can the median home debt be $95,000? That doesn't make any sense. Well, it does make sense when you factor in how many people actually have home debt. And we're going to go to debt, and we're going to go to home secured debt, and we're going to say, look, only 37%, what is that? I can't see that. Is this 27% of the people who are 65 and 75 and older have any home secured debt, if that makes sense. So now 27% of the people, factor in the home secured debt for everybody, the median would be 24,000, if that makes sense. Because again, the vast majority of people who are 75 and older don't have any home secured debt. You see what I'm saying? And so it's just for home secured debt. This isn't everyone who has debt. It's just people that, when you factor in everybody who has, in terms of the home secured debt, the median would be $24,000. We factor it into the entire group as a whole in terms of debt level. Remember, the median debt level is about $17,500 for the entire group as a whole. Of that debt level, $12,000 would be home debt, if that makes sense. I mean, that's just something. I mean, it's not really all that relevant to the overall scheme of things, but it's relevant. I mean, it is in a way, but there's positive stuff in there. But again, I don't like the jump in that amount of debt right there. That does bother me. And I'm not sure what to attribute it to. If we go back, we can attribute to right here. Hold on a second. I'm going to go to debt. Watch how many more retirees right there. have debt than they did, or 75 plus. I mean, look at that. 20% of people 75 plus, 21% had debt in 1989. Now they have 53%. So that's, it's not quite a triple. That's a 250% increase in the people who have debt in retirement. And that is a concern. And, you can easily attribute that to the interest rates being low. And if you want to look at this, check this out. We can even prove that even further. Watch the data set up here. With the interest rates being low, the number of savings bonds was held I don't know what that is, in 100 billion, I guess. I don't know how much that is. That's in 2022 numbers. It's gone down by, it was 7, now it's 1, whatever that is. 100. I don't think it's 100,000, but I don't know. We can go back here. We can see. I'm not sure if they'll let us see that savings bond. Yeah. Oh, sweet, they do. And you can see the median in thousands of dollars. Yeah, right there. So the median in thousands of dollars is $2,000. Again, that's just for the people who have them in savings bond, which is way down from what it was here in 1989. So it's gone significantly down. In fact, we can look at this. Certificates deposit, same thing. As interest rates went down, CDs holdings went down. If you go to pooled investment funds right here, that's gone way up. I mean, that's just gone way up because the money came out of the investments or the savings accounts and went into stocks and bonds. What are you chomping on, chomps? Let's see, stock holdings went, what did go up for? Yeah, it did. That's more than double, 100%. Anyway, so it doesn't say, let's do directly held. Did we already do directly held bonds? Yeah, that changed. So again, took money from, it's called disintermediation of the bank. We take money from the bank and put it into investment accounts. That's called disintermediation. Directly held stocks went up. Again, but the big one was pooled investment funds. Look at that. And just because people say, I'm getting out of my savings accounts and CDs, I'm going to put it over here. And so the same thing can be said, I think, with debt. They're saying, look, I'm going to take on more debt because the interest rates are so low. But the problem is you still got to pay that debt. And you're paying it with after-tax income. Not that there's much tax, I grant you, but still, that is a concern of mine. Anyway, something I'm thinking about. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Are you seeing that? Are you seeing that out there? I don't know, like maybe your parents or anything like that. Are you seeing them secure more debt? Are you taking on more debt? Putting the doobie-doo. I hope not, because we want to steer away from that and steer away towards not debt. I'd love to hear your thoughts. God bless.